Last one was a bit of a rant regarding churches joining and memberships. Not about God, by the way, just about people. Yeah. But time to read something much more gentle. Every time I read this, I just want to read it for my friend Chris. Chris, here's another one for you. And we're going to go back to Peter Pan and Wendy. I love you, man. Hang on a sec. Right. Now we got as far as Nana giving Michael his cough medicine. That's Nana the dog, of course. The bottle and the spoon being carried in her mouth. And what else have we got? Michael said once that he wouldn't take it. Done all that. Same thing every night. Nana waited patiently. Okay, now. Also, we got Mr. Darling saying that he hated taking his medicine, but he was a good strong boy, so he took it and grinned. Right, I'll go back and I'll start to end the rest of how Mr. Darling disliked Nana, because I can see the page was turned down on 19. You see, so starting from page 20. Chris, before I start, would you look on my Facebook page, my personal page? Please look, Chris. I'm very upset, but I'm going to read this for you. In fact, Chris, I might let you see my eyes while I read this, because they just look dead sad. Okay? So let's just read. Mr. Darling really hated taking it. And he made all sorts of excuses. He said he'd be sick. There was a lot more in his class than in Michael's, and so on. Michael said father must take his first. And when Mrs. Darling said, no, Michael first, Michael said father's a cowardly custard. Why not both take it at the same time, said Wendy. All right, said Mr. Darling. Then Wendy counted 3 and Michael swallowed his medicine. But Mr. Darling hid his own glass behind him. He didn't know what to do with the stuff, and he couldn't be made to drink it, so he poured it into Nana's bowl. This was great fun. The children watched him in silence. When Nana came in again, he told her, good dog, Nana, I've put some milk in your bowl. And indeed, it looked like milk. But when Nana tasted it, she knew he'd played a trick on her. She went into her kennel, shedding tears, and had to be cuddled and comforted. So directly after had the 3 children. For Mr. Darling, who knew he was in the wrong, made things worse by being very cross with Nana. I won't have a dog in the nursery, he shouted, and I shall tie her up at the back of the yard. And he did so. Just fancy tying up your nurse in the yard. Well, some Tories might. Poor Nana could not think why she should be treated like that. She whined, for it was snowing off and on. She barked, for she could smell some of the danger in the air. Mrs. Darling heard these noises while she put the children to bed and lit their night lights. Wendy, John, Michael fell asleep while she was still singing to them. She felt uneasy at leaving them alone. They did not seem likely anything to happen. Besides, the party where she was going was only a few doors off at number 27. She'd still have been glad to stay at home by those 3 little heads in the 3 little beds as she looked out at the stars. There seemed to be a great deal more than usual, and much nearer too, as they wanted to peep inside the house. Then she went off with Mr. Darling. Neither of them felt a bit partyish. They crossed the road to number 27. And directly these grown-up people were well out of the way, the stars became wildly excited and could be heard, if anybody had been listening, calling out, "Hi, Peter! Hurry up! Come along, Peter!" I know everybody else is going to watch it, but Chris, this is for you. This is passion. I'm really upset. Take care, my friends, and all of you. Enjoy these wonderful words from this wonderful book. Bye.